Welcome back to Burn the Ship, the podcast where we connect entrepreneurs to professionals to help you go all in on your business. I'm your host, Ezra Brown, and without further ado, I'm going to let my guest introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Landers. I work for Brad Belair State Farm, and I'm a local Georgia boy right here in born and raised in Georgia.
Awesome, Jason. I appreciate you coming first and foremost, man. Thank you for taking the time out of your morning to come over here and sit in with us for a little session here.
Yes, sir.
But no, Jason, I know me and you've done some networking together. We've got to know each other pretty well over the past couple months, but really kind of paint us that picture, of what that professional journey's been from, that time when you first got a job, really essentially to what led you into being a State Farm agent, what kind of led you in that direction? Because I know you got some big things coming for you, but what's that adventure been?
Boy, the adventure's been wild. So I'm 46, but I've been in business development and related insurance sales, for well over 20 years. So to go back just a little bit on the background, in 2009, I actually got my health and life license. Went to work for a broker. This was non-PNC, non-State Farm related stuff. And we sold life and health insurance in 42 states. Did that for about 3 years, and then I went into work got hired on at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, one of the largest health insurance companies still, in America.
Right.
They were really, really good. That was under a captive situation, so very lucrative for a while. But then, as you know, the years kept going in 2015, 2016. A lot of the big insurance companies kept buying each other up,
right.
And then they were also, going away from the captive model, so meaning just selling for one company.
Okay. I was about to say, what is captive exactly in that industry? So it'd be just selling. So if you're State Farm, you can only sell State Farm, or so it's not like you were a broker selling 50 different insurances.
Exactly.
Okay.
You got it. So once that started to happen, going to work for the broker model, commissions were starting to get less and less. There was starting to get a little more less, good money in there.
Right.
Money in
more like corporate job instead of being.
Yeah. So, I kind of deviated from that world a little bit, went into mortgage for a while. It took a long time to kind of find myself kind of within those couple of years, really what I wanted to do. Then a friend of mine, who I've known for, off and on, around here as well, had a pretty successful brokerage. And, he kept telling me, go get your PNC license, go get your PNC and your adjuster license.
Right.
Do this, and I'll get you back on track. So I listened to him, went and got my license in 2019, my PNC license and my adjuster license. And, all the COVID thing was kind of just
right.
getting
ready to splurge on us.
Yes. So, but within that, luckily, I got hired on State Farm. Brad Belair State Farm is where I work currently. Brad's a great guy. We hit it off pretty well. Interviewed, he brought me in. The COVID thing was still, where it was. So a lot of people are still working from home and whatnot. Right. However, he has a nice office, still does. And I was always the type that I wanted to be in the office anyway.
Right.
I just feel it's more productive.
Absolutely, than being at the house. Yeah. Because y'all are very similar to how we work. You know, we're working through underwriting, working on relationships, networking, and all. And what has been that biggest thing? How have you been? What has been that strategy of growing in that new business? Going into that new side. Mm-hmm. What has been all the tactics you've done to kind of gain a book of business?
That's a great question, Ezra. Thank you for asking that too. Yeah, the biggest thing that I've learned through the last 4 years is networking is everything. Networking, grassroots, meeting people. People don't like to be sold anymore. They don't like to be sold. They like a conversation, a relationship-based approach,
right.
Where you're communicating. And listen, you're just like me. I'm a consumer just like you are.
Yeah.
I pay insurance premiums. I have a renter's or a home policy.
Right.
I have to have life insurance.
Right.
I have to have all of the same things you do. So I'm a guy just like you are,
right.
or a woman, et cetera. So we're all kind of in this world together. So just kind of, the networking, the grassroots, let people know what you do
right.
and who you are,
right.
so they feel more comfortable.
Right. So in the grassroots, you mean by your connections you already have? Like that you've had through time, all your friends, family friends,
mm-hmm.
Acquaintances, networks that you've grown into.
That's exactly it. And then, thank God, about 4 years ago, I was introduced to B&I,
right?
Dr. Pham and some of the other guys in the world that I was in, kind of like you were saying,
right.
Some of just normal connections, introduced me to it, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. It takes a lot of working on relationships that you've already built,
Yes.
and then understanding how to. Then B&I teaches you how to make that more of a formal process. You know, how to actually use that in your everyday life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And kind of what has been, and working for Brad. I know Brad, awesome guy.
Yeah.
But, kind of what I know he gives you pretty free rein to go build your book of business, correct?
Correct.
So you go out and everything is your own.
Yes.
So then you're working, you're not like a regular corporate, insurance guy. You're out here going cold calling, door knocking as well, pretty much. But not as much door knocking, but you're definitely cold calling.
Yeah, for sure.
And does he give you any leads at all?
Yeah. So the way State Farm's motto is I'm not, like Ezra said, I'm not a corporate employee. I'm an employee of Brad Belair State Farm. My ambitions and my goals, as he knows as well, is to open my own State Farm, open my own agency here. Hopefully in the next year, because the last 4 years have been very beneficial and been very good and taught me a lot.
Right.
But like you said, yes, one thing we do with State Farm and one thing we do at Brad Belair State Farm is we do buy internet leads, and we also do a lot of marketing on the existing book of business that's been there for 9 years, because Brad's been around for 9 years.
Right. That's awesome.
So, and the thing where our office is right by the Battery, by the Brave Stadium. So we also do a lot of marketing in the Atlanta zip codes, as well as Smyrna, and then Powder Springs, Dallas, Hiram, all those.
Right.
So there's a good bit of internet leads as well. I've found my best relationships in the book of business that I've built, which is thankfully pretty good.
Right.
That they're 90% of them are about referrals, though.
Right.
80 to 90% are referrals.
Right. Because if people like, know, and trust you, they will refer you to people that they know, because that gets you in the door.
Ezra, you hit the nail on the head.
That's why they do it. That's why you got to do people right and not doing bad. 'Cause they will it'll come back to haunt you in the long run, especially.
Yes.
But and what's been since 2019, since you hopped back into the insurance game, what's kind of been what was your struggle? What was the hardest part about it?
The hardest part, and anytime you come into a new world, is of course learning the systems, learning how you go and work the technology and things like that. But then, once you get that, you figure that out a few times. The hardest thing is, figuring out where do you start, to bring the book of business in, or start to build the book of business.
Right.
Because you're coming in, you're a new guy.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely assess that. I've been going through. I started August, and I've been trying to grow. And I really couldn't start growing my book of business till I guess around October-ish, before I really knew what exactly I was doing. I wasn't going to lead somebody. I'm not going to lead somebody in the dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the blind leading the blind. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
But and that's definitely something that. Not that I could attest to, but other people can attest to, because it's not something easy to just go find clients, go build a book of business, or even run a brand new business. You know what I mean? Much less.
True. Yeah.
And then that'll spin off that question. What's been that strong point? What could you really lean on through this whole time?
One thing that I've been blessed with, I've always had a hard work ethic. I've always been a very determined, focused person. But you also need good leadership. When you're coming into a company, you also need a good leader to kind of mold you. You need a good mentor as well. If you don't have one, sometimes two mentors is really good. So I give a lot of credit to the mentors and the people like Brad, as well as some of the other people in B&I and some of the people in my own personal circle that are just tremendously and help build you up.
Right, absolutely, because those relationships are everything. Because without that, what are we gonna get?
Right.
What do you and what has been the biggest that shift you've seen from that mentorship? Because that's something that everybody needs. People don't understand, think they need it. Because I definitely didn't think I did it at a younger age, and as I'm getting older, I'm like, damn, I need one.
Yes,
need a good one. You know what I mean? You want to have them around. But what's been that? What's that biggest takeaway you're getting from these guys?
It's life's all about. Obviously we all want to be successful. We all want to make money. We all want to live a good life. But it's also about what you give back too. I don't want to just be a taker. When I'm doing well, I want to help someone else do well. And if I can help you in any kind of way, you as well. You've had many conversations outside of the office and outside of here, and you being a younger guy coming into B&I, do what you're doing and shining like you have already. You're a person that's a great example of what you can be as well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So just giving as much as you can. Always thinking about how I can refer some of the people that I know to you or to other people in the group, and stuff like that. So
that's what we call our motto: "Givers gain, baby. Givers gain. Givers gain."
Yeah.
And then man, it's kind of been it's been a journey, especially going through the life phases you did to go through, 2019, start up a whole new segment, and that's the perfect motto of Burn the Ship, kind of, what was that, where we got the quote Burn the Ship from? Where we got our name from?
What's that?
So Central American Conquistador Hernan Cortez lands in modern-day Mexico.
Whoa!
And he made his men, him and his armada of ships, made his men disassemble the ships and burn the ships, but take off all their living and everything they needed. Burnt the ships on there, and that was his sign to them that they're going to make it there or they're going to die trying. And we use that same sense in entrepreneurship, professional life and business. And what was that emotion when you burned the ship and when Brad said go get your PNC license and you did? What was that burn the ship moment like?
It was wild. I was, because me, I've been out of school for quite a while. Yeah. I'm a little older, obviously, and I was never the best test taker, first of all. So I can do anything. I mean, I know I can, but I'm not the best test taker.
Right.
So having to study and go back to school essentially, because really it's not formalized school like you're going, back to 9th grade, 10th grade, etc. But you do have to take a 40-hour course. You have to pass that course, a 40-hour course with modules and training. And then once you do that and pay that fee, which isn't terrible, it's not a lot of money necessarily, but then you have to go, then you have to go and take the formalized standardized test with the state of Georgia. So that's one for PNC, and then there's one for life and health, and then there's one to be an adjuster. And just like real estate, etc., they all have those licenses. So they're not easy. They ask a lot of trick questions. And like I said, I had to, get focused, and in my evenings when I wasn't working or throughout my day, study the courses, study the chapters.
Yes, yeah.
In order to pass the test.
Right.
And it took me twice, I admit, it took me twice to pass it. But I did pass it, and anyone, with good sense can do it. Anybody can do what I did. It's
Absolutely. And what was that emotion like whenever you took off and said, "Screw it, I'm gonna jump in. Come on, Brad, I'm going all in with you.
I'm going all in, yeah."
What was it? What was that emotion feeling like?
It was awesome because he's such a good human being, and we've gotten to be very, very good close friends. But back then I didn't know that. He was just the guy signing my paycheck.
Right.
So I had to work and gain gain his trust and show him that my work ethic was what it was, and
that's awesome.
Continue to just keep pushing. And the more I did that, the more he saw the results, and the more freedom and stuff he gave me. And now he's the biggest advocate of wanting to see me own my own agency soon.
Absolutely. And that's one of those goals we talk about. That's one of those things you'll attain it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and it'll be there in no time. It'll be there sooner than you think.
I hope so.
And Jason, tell the people where to find you.
You can absolutely find me. I'm Jason Landers on Facebook. I'm also president of BNI Paulding, and Ezra's a member as well.
Paulding Professionals, baby. Come on.
Paulding Professionals, that's what we do, yep. You can find me on there. LinkedIn, you can also look for me, Jason Landers, as well. The number to reach me, if you would like to communicate about anything for State Farm related, auto, home, business, all of those core products, would be 404-758-4573. Just ask for Jason.
Man, that's awesome. Jason, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming and sitting down with me and burn the ship.
Thank you, Ezra. Thank you so much, guys. Awesome.
Let's go.